which is just a real light, fresh green, perfect for the spring. We're going to use a little bit of wild arugula, which that would help pick up the flavors even more. I'm just going to take this marinade and just kind of let it drip over the top and cover it from a fork. And you could just take a fork and roll it right through the center. But I'm not even going to bother to do that. I just want to casually a half a cup or so in there. We're just going to let that melt. It's just going to give us a little bit of acidity and a little different flavor. And I'm going to add some finely chopped green onions. The crepe's hot, and it's going to help melt the Nutella and make it a little easier to spread.
In this episode, Cooking for the Seasons, Spring Cuisine.
Hi, my name is Tom Small, and today we're going to talk about spring. Everything changes in the world as we move from winter to spring. As we see the seasons change and the flowers start to bloom and the leaves start to grow on the trees. 2 tablespoons of orange marmalade. You can really use just about any kind of marmalade that you'd like. They're all really pretty good. And then we're going to take some lemons. Whenever you're using fresh lemon juice, you want to make sure that you roll it on the board first so that you can start releasing some of those juices and making it easier to squeeze into the bowl. So we're going to use the same amount of juice as we did marmalade, which is about 2 tablespoons. Tongs. And when we toss a salad like this, especially with such tender greens, we want to make sure that we toss it very, very gently. So I'm really just grabbing the leaves and turning them over. Next, we're going to make a spring vegetable panzanella. Now, a panzanella is a bread salad. It's usually made in the summertime with big chunks of tomatoes and crispy bread. But I love bread salads so much I don't want to wait for the summer. So we're going to do it in the springtime. And we're going to start by making some croutons. Now, for years I used to cut my croutons into nice, even little cubes and made sure everything looked perfect. But over time, I came to find that it's really just better for me and flavor-wise just to tear the bread. We're just going to tear it into big chunks. And we're just going to drop those in the bowl. You can see that they're nice and crispy and crunchy because they were torn instead of cut. It really makes a big difference. I'm going to take that same citrus vinaigrette that I made before, and we're going to add a little bit more dressing than we typically do. The reason that we are is because a lot of our vegetables that we're using have a lot of moisture in them. They have a lot of water. And because there's so much water in there, it kind of dilutes the dressing as you're mixing it up. Compound butters are kind of the restaurant's secret trick that we use a lot because it's just a really easy way to incorporate flavors into dishes that we might want to use over and over. But there's actually some really great advantages for home cooks as well. I'm going to drop this butter into a big mass right in the middle. I'm going to spread it out just a little bit, just like that. I'm going to fold over the paper so that it's completely over and put my hand on the other side, and I'm just going to push it backwards a little bit. And see, I'm starting to roll it into a log. So now that it's rolled up like that, I'm just going to take it and roll it the rest of the way. Once I get them in there, I'm just going to add a little bit of white wine, maybe a half cup. And that's going to come to a boil and help the clams open up. It's going to take about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll add our compound butter and finish the dish. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it down in the pan and just lay it out. The pan's already been preheated. It's over medium heat. And I'm going to let it cook for just a minute or so to get a little bit of color on that side and to set it up. And then I'm going to take a little bit of fresh mozzarella cheese. We're going to use fresh mozzarella and ricotta cheese. You definitely don't need both, but I like them both so much I think it'll be really good on this pizza. I'm just going to tear it into pieces and put it down. We don't need to cover the whole pizza. We're just going to come and put it down in different places. I'm trying to pull the ingredients towards the edge of the pan and then pull them backwards. So I'm using the sloping side of the pan to do that. And of course I could stand with a spoon and just stir it as I go. Oh, but it's far more entertaining to do it that way. And I'm really just moving it around to get an even cook on all sides. Get some of that fat out of there. It's fun to stand up at the counter and get your hands messy and dirty and all work with the dough together. So this has started to come together enough that I can start using my hands. I'm going to grab just a little bit more flour and put it in the middle. And I'm just going to keep pulling those ingredients in towards the center and pushing them down. And I'm going to start and we'll let it cook for just a minute. Let all those flavors come together. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some smoked mozzarella cheese. This is regular mozzarella that's been smoked. You can buy it just like that. And it's going to add just a nice smoky flavor to the dish. Great smoky paprika flavor and the fresh citrus and garlic. This is really a great way to roast a chicken. And there is some heat from the chili powder, but not so much that it's overwhelming. And there we go. We've got chicken fra diavolo. Okay, well my lamb is just about cooked through. I can see that there's juices that are starting to accumulate on the top of the chop, and that tells me that it's cooked to about medium rare inside. Let's add our garlic and our rosemary back for just a second. So I've got a bowl here, and I've just put some toasted bread inside. There's so much good flavor in this oil that it's going to be the perfect thing to kind of soak up some of those juices. We'll go ahead and transfer our lamb. And we'll just lay them out in front of the bread. Looks like we're good on that side, so we'll go ahead and turn the shrimp over and get them tossed up. And we'll add a little bit of white wine. Yeah, we'll do a half cup or so. Now, if you wanted to add some ingredients to this, you know, some blanched asparagus would be really nice. My daughter's favorite is zucchini. So there's lots of things you could do, but I would encourage you to just keep it simple so we can continue to taste the eggs and all the things that are in there. Okay, so that's all mixed up and ready to go. In the back here I've got a saute pan that I've been warming up. It's so good, you couldn't make it any better yourself, and so we don't need to even try. We're going to put about a tablespoon in the side of our crepe, and all I'm going to do is just spread it around. Nutella is chocolate and hazelnut, which are really classic Italian flavors, and I'm just going to spread it on Tuscan biscotti with almonds on the side, or you could use some shortbread or something like that. Let's pour a little bit of that port down in the bottom of the glass. And I've got just a little bit of whipped cream, and we'll put that right on the top.